Ann Arbor is a city in the U.S. state of Michigan and the county seat of Washtenaw County. The 2010 census recorded its population to be 113,934, making it the sixth largest city in Michigan. The Ann Arbor Metropolitan Statistical Area includes all of Washtenaw County, which had a population of 344,791 as of 2010. The city is also part of the larger Detroit-Ann Arbor-Flint-Meade combined statistical area with a population of 5,318,744. Ann Arbor was founded in 1824, named for wives of the village's founders and the stands of Bur oak trees. The University of Michigan moved from Detroit to Ann Arbor in 1837, and the city grew at a rapid rate in the early to mid-20th century. During the 1960s and 1970s, the city gained a reputation as a center for left-wing politics. Ann Arbor became a focal point for political activism and served as a hub for the civil rights movement and anti-Vietnam War movement, as well as various student movements. Ann Arbor is home to the University of Michigan, one of the foremost research universities in the United States. The university shapes Ann Arbor's economy significantly as it employs about 30,000 workers, including about 12,000 in the medical center. The city's economy is also centered on high technology, with several companies drawn to the area by the university's research and development money, and by its graduates. History. Ann Arbor was founded in 1824 by land speculators John Allen and Elisha Walker Rumsey. On 25 May 1824, the town plat was registered with Wayne County as Ann Arbor. This represents the earliest known use of the town's name. Allen and Rumsey decided to name it for their wives, both named Ann, and for the stands of Bur oak in the 640 acres of land they purchased for $800 from the federal government at $1.25 per acre. The local Ojibwe named the settlement Gsgeorge after the sound of Allen's sawmill. Ann Arbor became the seat of Washtenaw County in 1827, and was incorporated as a village in 1833. The Ann Arbor Land Company, a group of speculators, set aside 40 acres of undeveloped land and offered it to the state of Michigan as the site of the state capital, but lost the bid to Lansing. In 1837, the property was accepted instead as the site of the University of Michigan, which moved from Detroit. Since the university's establishment in the city in 1837, the histories of the University of Michigan and Ann Arbor have been closely linked. The town became a regional transportation hub in 1839 with the arrival of the Michigan Central Railroad, and a north-south railway connecting Ann Arbor to Toledo and other markets to the south was established in 1878. Throughout the 1840s and the 1850s, settlers continued to come to Ann Arbor. While the earlier settlers were primarily of British ancestry, the newer settlers also consisted of Germans, Irish, and African Americans. In 1851, Ann Arbor was chartered as a city, though the city showed a drop in population during the Depression of 1873. It was not until the early 1880s that Ann Arbor again saw robust growth, with new immigrants coming from Greece, Italy, Russia, and Poland. Ann Arbor saw increased growth in manufacturing, particularly in milling. Ann Arbor's Jewish community also grew after the turn of the 20th century, and its first and oldest synagogue, Beth Israel Congregation, was established in 1916. During the 1960s and 1970s, the city gained a reputation as an important center for liberal politics. Ann Arbor also became a locus for left-wing activism and served as a hub for the civil rights movement and anti-Vietnam War movement, as well as the student movement. The first major meetings of the national left-wing campus group Students for a Democratic Society took place in Ann Arbor in 1960. In 1965, the city was home to the first U.S. teaching against the Vietnam War. During the ensuing 15 years, many countercultural and New Left enterprises sprang up and developed large constituencies within the city. These influences washed into municipal politics during the early and mid-1970s when 3 members of the Human Rights Party won city council seats on the strength of the student vote. During their time on the council, HRP representatives fought for measures including pioneering anti-discrimination ordinances, measures decriminalizing marijuana possession, and a rent control ordinance. Many of these remain in effect in modified form. Alongside these liberal and left-wing efforts, a small group of conservative institutions were born in Ann Arbor. These include Word of God, a charismatic interdenominational movement, and the Thomas More Law Center, a religious conservative advocacy group. Following a 1956 vote, the city of East Ann Arbor merged with Ann Arbor to encompass the eastern sections of the city. In the past several decades, Ann Arbor has grappled with the effects of sharply rising land values, gentrification, and urban sprawl stretching into outlying countryside. On 4 November 2003, voters approved a Greenbelt plan under which the city government bought development rights on agricultural parcels of land adjacent to Ann Arbor to preserve them from sprawling development. Since then, a vociferous local debate has hinged on how and whether to accommodate and guide development within city limits. Ann Arbor consistently ranks in the top places to live lists published by various mainstream media outlets every year. In 2008, it was ranked by CNNMoney.com 27th out of 100 America's best small cities. And in the year 2010, Forbes listed Ann Arbor as one of the most livable cities in the United States of America. Geography and cityscape. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 28.70 square miles, of which 27.83 square miles of it is land and 0.87 square miles is water, much of which is a part of the Huron River. Ann Arbor is about 35 miles west of Detroit. Ann Arbor Charter Township adjoins the city's north and east sides. Ann Arbor is situated on the Huron River in a productive agricultural and fruit-growing region. The landscape of Ann Arbor consists of hills and valleys, with the terrain becoming steeper near the Huron River. The elevation ranges from about 750 feet along the Huron River to 1,015 feet on the city's west side, near the intersection of Maple Road and Pauline Boulevard. Generally, the west central and northwestern parts of the city and UM's North Campus are the highest parts of the city. The lowest parts are along the Huron River and in the southeast. Ann Arbor Municipal Airport, which is south of the city at 42 degrees 13.38 N, 83 degrees 44.74 W, 42.22300 degrees north, 83.74567 degrees west, 42.22300 minus 83.74567, has an elevation of 839 feet. Ann Arbor's Tree Town nickname stems from the dense forestation of its parks and residential areas. The city contains more than 50,000 trees along its streets and an equal number in parks. In recent years, the Emerald ash borer has destroyed many of the city's approximately 10,500 ash trees. The city contains 157 municipal parks ranging from small neighborhood green spots to large recreation areas. Several large city parks and a university park border sections of the Huron River. Fuller Recreation Area, near the University Hospital Complex, contains sports fields, pedestrian and bike paths, and swimming pools. The Nichols Arboretum, owned by the University of Michigan, is a 123-acre arboretum that contains hundreds of plant and tree species. It is on the city's east side, near the university's central campus. Located across the Huron River just beyond the university's north campus is the university's Matthay Botanical Gardens, which contains 300 acres of gardens and a large tropical conservatory. The Carytown Shops, Main Street Business District, the State Street Business District, and the South University Business District are commercial areas in downtown Ann Arbor. 3 commercial areas south of downtown include the areas near I-94 and Ann Arbor Saline Road, Briarwood Mall, and the South Industrial Area. Other commercial areas include the Arborland, Washtenaw Avenue and Packard Road merchants on the east side, the Plymouth Road area in the northeast, and the Westgate, West Stadium areas on the west side. Downtown contains a mix of 19th and early 20th century structures and modern-style buildings, as well as a farmers market in the Carytown district. The city's commercial districts are composed mostly of 2- to 4-story structures, although downtown and the area near Briarwood Mall contain a small number of high-rise buildings. Ann Arbor's residential neighborhoods contain architectural styles ranging from classic 19th century and early 20th century designs to ranch-style houses. Among these homes are a number of kit houses built in the early 20th century. Contemporary-style houses are farther from the downtown district. Surrounding the University of Michigan campus are houses and apartment complexes occupied primarily by student renters. Tower Plaza, a 26-story condominium building located between the University of Michigan campus and downtown, is the tallest building in Ann Arbor. The 19th-century buildings and streetscape of the Old West Side neighborhood have been preserved virtually intact. In 1972, the district was listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and it is further protected by city ordinances and a non-profit preservation group. Climate: Ann Arbor has a typically Midwestern humid continental climate, which is influenced by the Great Lakes. There are 4 distinct seasons. Winters are cold with moderate to heavy snowfall, while summers are very warm and humid. In between, spring and autumn are short but mild. The area experiences lake-effect weather, primarily in the form of increased cloudiness during late fall and early winter. The monthly daily average temperature in July is 72.6 degrees Fahrenheit, while the same figure for January is 24.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Temperatures reach or exceed 90 degrees Fahrenheit on 10 days, and drop to or below 0 degrees Fahrenheit on 4.6 nights. Precipitation tends to be the heaviest during the summer months, but most frequent during winter. Snowfall, which normally occurs from November to April but occasionally starts in October, averages 58 inches per season. The lowest recorded temperature was -23 degrees Fahrenheit on the 11th of February 1885 and the highest recorded temperature was 105 degrees Fahrenheit on the 24th of July 1934. Demographics. As of the 2010 U.S. Census, there were 113,394 people, 45,634 households, and 21,704 families residing in the city. The population density was 4,270.33 people per square mile. There were 49,982 housing units at an average density of 1,748.0 per square mile, making it less densely populated than inner-ring Detroit suburbs like Oak Park in Ferndale, but more densely populated than outer-ring suburbs like Livonia or Troy. The racial makeup of the city was 73.0% white, 7.7% black or African American, 0.3% Native American, 14.4% Asian, 0.0% Pacific Islander, 1.0% from other races, and 3.6% from 2 or more races. Hispanic or Latino residents of any race were 4.1% of the population. In 2013, Ann Arbor had the second largest community of Japanese citizens in the state of Michigan, numbering 1,541. This figure trailed only that of Novi, which had 2,666 Japanese nationals. In addition, as of 2005, Ann Arbor has a small population of Arab Americans, including several students, as well as local Lebanese and Palestinians. In 2000, out of 45,693 households, 23.0% had children under the age of 18 living with them, 37.8% were married couples living together, 7.5% had a female householder with no husband present, and 52.5% were non-families. 35.5% of households were made up of individuals and 6.6% had someone living there alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.22 and the average family size was 2.90. The age distribution was 16.8% under 18, 26.8% from 18 to 24, 31.2% from 25 to 44, 17.3% from 45 to 64, and 7.9% were 65 or older. The median age was 28 years. For every 100 females there were 97.7 males, while for every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 96.4 males. The median income for a household in the city was $46,299, and the median income for a family was $71,293. Males had a median income of $48,880 versus $36,561 for females. The per capita income for the city was $26,419. About 4.6% of families and 16.6% of the population were below the poverty line, including 7.3% of those under age 18 and 5.1% of those age 65 or over. Ann Arbor's crime rate was below the national average in 2000. The violent crime rate was further below the national average than the property crime rate. The two rates were 48% and 11% lower than the U.S. average, respectively. Economy. The University of Michigan shapes Ann Arbor's economy significantly. It employs about 30,000 workers, including about 12,000 in the medical center. Other employers are drawn to the area by the university's research and development money, and by its graduates. High-tech, health services and biotechnology are other major components of the city's economy. Numerous medical offices, laboratories, and associated companies are located in the city. Automobile manufacturers, such as General Motors and Visteon, also employ residents. High-tech companies have located in the area since the 1930s. When International Radio Corporation introduced the first mass-produced AC/DC radio as well as the first pocket radio. The Argus Camera Company, originally a subsidiary of International Radio, manufactured cameras in Ann Arbor from 1936 to the 1960s. Current firms include Arbor Networks, Arbor Text, Gsgeorge, Mediaspan, Proven Health Analytics, and ProQuest, which includes UMI. Ann Arbor Terminals manufactured a video display terminal called the Ann Arbor Ambassador during the 1980s. Barracuda Networks, which provides networking, security, and storage products based on network appliances and cloud services, opened an engineering office in Ann Arbor in 2008 on Depot Street, and recently announced it will move downtown to occupy the building previously used as the board's headquarters. Websites and online media companies in or near the city include All Media Guide, The Weather Underground, and Zatchu. Ann Arbor is the home to Internet2 and the Merit Network, a not-for-profit research and education computer network. Both are located in the South State Commons 2 building on South State Street. which once housed the Michigan Information Technology Center Foundation. The city is also home to the headquarters of Google's AdWords program, the company's primary revenue stream. The recent surge in companies operating in Ann Arbor has led to a decrease in its office and flex space vacancy rates. As of the 31st of December 2012, the total market vacancy rate for office and flex space is 11.80%, a 1.40% decrease in vacancy from 1 year previous, and the lowest overall vacancy level since 2003. The office vacancy rate decreased to 10.65% in 2012 from 12.08% in 2011, while the flex vacancy rate decreased slightly more, with a drop from 16.50% to 15.02%. Pfizer, once the city's second-largest employer, operated a large pharmaceutical research facility on the northeast side of Ann Arbor. On the 22nd of January 2007, Pfizer announced it would close operations in Ann Arbor by the end of 2008. The facility was previously operated by Warner Lambert and, before that, Parke-Davis. In December 2008, the University of Michigan Board of Regents approved the purchase of the facilities, and the university anticipates hiring 2,000 researchers and staff during the next 10 years. The city is the home of other research and engineering centers, including those of Lotus Engineering, General Dynamics and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Other research centers cited in the city are the United States Environmental Protection Agency National Vehicle and Fuel Emissions Laboratory and the Toyota Technical Center. The city is also home to National Sanitation Foundation International, the non-profit non-governmental organization that develops generally accepted standards for a variety of public health-related industries and subject areas. Borders Books, started in Ann Arbor, was opened by brothers Tom and Louis Borders in 1971 with a stock of used books. The Borders chain was based in the city, as was its flagship store until it closed in September 2011. Domino's Pizza's headquarters is near Ann Arbor on Domino's Farms, a 271-acre Frank Lloyd Wright-inspired complex just northeast of the city. Another Ann Arbor-based company is Zingerman's Delicatessen, which serves sandwiches and has developed businesses under a variety of brand names. Zingerman's has grown into a family of companies which offers a variety of products and services. Flint Inc. Corp., another Ann Arbor-based company, was the world's largest privately held ink manufacturer until it was acquired by Stuttgart-based XSYS Print Solutions in October 2005. AB Fuel, a global supplier of aviation fuels and services, is also headquartered in Ann Arbor. Astrum Biosciences, a publicly traded company that develops stem cell treatments for cardiovascular diseases, is headquartered in Ann Arbor. Many cooperative enterprises were founded in the city. Among those that remain are the People's Food Co-op and the Intercooperative Council at the University of Michigan, a student housing cooperative founded in 1937. There are also 3 co-housing communities, Sunwood, Great Oak, and Touchstone, located immediately to the west of the city limits.